Welcome to Highway to Helms in 3, 2, 1.
Another day, another dollar as I holler to the world. I love the way I'm living, love the Gucci, love the girls, love the parties and the clubs, love the models and hot tubs, love the German engineering set on deep dish dubs. Another tour around the world, entertaining the fans. I love walking through the airport, taking pictures, shaking hands. Every day from me's an oyster, crack it open, find a pearl. I love the way I live, is what I holler to the world. Wake up in my bed and I'm feeling kinda stuck from this Tempur-Pedic mattress. I don't wanna get up. Roll out of bed, plant my feet on the...
Welcome everybody to another episode of Highway to Helms with your guest, your host, the creator of this nonsense, Shane Hurricane Helms, to my immediate left. Actually, well, you're going to be the only one in studio today. Known in certain circles as the Big Daddy, other circles as the Big Heater. Actually starting to resemble a big circle. It's the Big Daddy Mike Maverick. We got Chavo on the line waiting, but before we get to the Mex Warrior, and let me bring him up, we're going to run through the sponsors real quick. I'm keeping this free for as long as I can, and the sponsors help do that. First of all, hotspots.com. All your wrestling paraphernalia, merchandise, DVDs, yada, yada, yada. Hotspots.com is the one to go to. They actually give me knee pads and elbow pads and all that shit because I run through that quite frequently. Figure4apps.com. They are the makers and creators of of the only pro wrestler iPhone app out there, the Shane Event. Of course, that's based upon me, and it will be updated this week, by the way. And the new features are pretty damn cool, if I do say so myself. I wish the popular features would actually involve me, but still the most popular feature of my app is the bird cam, and that is what it is. I'm a wrestling fan. Wrestling app devoted to the location of wrestling events, not just WWE, not just TNA, not just Ring of Honor, not just Lucha Libre USA, but every independent organization out there that submits an event. That event can be found on the I'm a Wrestling Fan iPhone and available on Android as well. Same concept goes for the I'm a Fight Fan app, available for MMA fans on iPhone and Android. The same concept for the brand new I'm a Race Fan for NASCAR and Indy drivers, and there's going to be some big things coming up with that particular app. The I'm a Comic-Con fan. That should be pretty self-explanatory. Same concept, but for Comic-Con fans. I'm a Race Fan and Comic-Con fan are currently available only on iPhone, but they will be coming to the Android system. Last but not least, RF Video, who produced the one and only Shane Helms shoot, which has gotten pretty decent reviews, mainly just because I tell the truth, which should not be something uncommon, but apparently it fucking is.
Telling it like it is.
Telling it like it is. Let me bring up the fucking title to the show. There we go. Let me bring up bada boom. Take that doom. And ladies and gentlemen, I see him. He's running around in the background doing some kind of shit. He's drinking some kind of water, and you're going to see him pop up on your screen. Chavo Guerrero Jr. How's it going, buddy?
West Coast till we die.
Hey man, we're gonna have an East Coast West Coast shit pop off right here on Skype.
Oh man, I'm down with homies on both coasts, man.
You down with homos on both coasts? Is what you said?
Homos, you know, whatever.
It all works, man. It all works, man. They ain't got no Chick-fil-A out on the West Coast, do they?
Yeah, not many, man. Not many. That shit wouldn't fly out here in Cali. Everybody's very liberal. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you got all that sun, man. It's easy to be happy with bikinis and titties and sunshine running around all day long.
The ocean's on the wrong side.
In the summer, I don't even put a shirt on. My neighbors don't even think I own a shirt.
I'm surprised you got this shirt on right now. By the end, but I will be disappointed.
Because it's my shirt and I'm trying to push it. So check it out.
Guerrero.
That's right there, bro.
Boom for people watching on the on iTunes, and actually Highway to Helms is available on the Android market now. It's something big that I'm popping up your shirt now so people can see it. Here's Chavo. Is this popping up a picture you sent me? You got a blue car in the background. Is that your personal ride, or is that
That's my personal ride, man. That's the first car that me and Eddie ever came out in. It's a 1963 Chevy Impala SS convertible. And that thing has been completely redone. If you remember, it was the first one. We came out in a pay-per-view in Worcester, Mass. And it was green with a black top. Well, what happened was John Cena ended up buying it. And then when Eddie passed away, John Cena was good enough to he handed the keys over to me. And I had that thing completely overhauled, man. So that thing is like It's show quality. You can eat off the bottom of that thing, man. It's perfect.
Well, that's pretty cool. You got the does it got the hydraulics and shit?
Hydraulics got it all, man. It's bumping front, back, side, you know it.
Front, back, side.
Now, did the radio come with it, or is that something you acquired illegally? Because I know about you and your penchant for car radios.
A legal acquirement.
He's doing the air quotation marks. What is that?
Legal.
Yeah, we just leave that as it is.
Nobody's come looking for it, so hey.
No, but nobody's gonna come. They might come find this. You'd be hard to find in California. Huh? You kind of blend in.
You're walking the line now.
Like me out there, you know.
So congratulations on TNA. Good to see you on there.
Yeah, man,
was that something that was in the works? Something that kind of was a spur of the moment deal, or how'd that come about?
No, that was something that we've been talking back and forth for a little bit, and just kind of feelers out there, see how they felt about me, see how I felt about them, and it just was the right deal, man, and it turned out good, and I'm actually really happy I went there, man. I didn't know what to expect, and it's really cool. It's really great, man. It's kind of making me love wrestling again.
Well, that's good, man. I know you've always had a passion. It's something that I've always liked about you. We've known each other now we met in 1999, actually.
Crazy. You were just a young little buck-toothed buck, huh?
Fucked up, I had my braces and shit on, didn't I?
Heck yeah.
You didn't even have braces yet.
Oh, that's right. I got them. Yeah, so that's fucked up. You just got to throw that out there like that. I've always given you credit, though. You're one of the guys that really challenged me in the ring to do shit I hadn't done before. Because 9 times out of 10, I was trying to convince other people to do shit. Like, just trust me, I can do it, But Chavo was one of the guys. I remember there's one thing in particular, like with the spinning backbreaker, and I was like, man, I don't know if I can do it. And you're in the ring, like live, go, just do it. All right, fuck it, let's go.
Hey, you know what, bro? You were a guy that came in just as young guy, and you guys came in as I think you guys came in as 3 count, didn't you?
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, okay, and I'd only been in the business really, full time, maybe 2-3 years. So you think in 2 or 3 years you know what's going on, you really don't. But then you came in, and I was like, oh, who's this guy? And they put us together, and man, to be honest, you had some awesome ideas, bro. I looked at some of those matches, and really 99% of them were your ideas, and you were just really innovative, man, and you thought out of the box, which I challenge all the young guys to do now, and you tore it up, man. I was really impressed. You came in, and you worked, you made me set my game up, put it that way.
We definitely had some good times. I always get asked about the last Nitro, what were my thoughts going in, and seeing as you were my opponent that night, what were your thoughts going in? What did you think was going to happen? Did you have any idea?
You're still naive and you don't know about business a lot, so I was just like, let's just go out and rock it. I was happy to be working you, and I think we worked singles, right?
Yeah.
Now, did y'all know that was it, the last one?
I knew that we would be able to rock it for sure. So I was like, WWF at the time was there, and I was like, just watch this, and we're going to tear the house down. And, for the little short amount of time that we had, we did. And I remember actually calling an audible out there. We were supposed to go into something else from the vertebraker, and we were just short on time. So you had me in the vertebraker, I was going to reverse it somehow, and I was just like, I called it to you, called the ref, just do it, just hit it now. And I think he relayed the message to you, and you were kind of like, should I not? Because if somebody's not ready for that move, you're dead.
Yeah, that's a dangerous deal. So
you did it, and it was like perfect, like all right. But you know what? We were kind of on the same page a lot, so I think I trusted you. I knew that you were gonna be good there.
No,
did everybody know going into that night that was the last show, or was that something y'all found out after you got there, or what?
We found out when
anything, man. There was some rumors. When we got there, and all of a sudden we saw all the WWE brass there and Shane McMahon and stuff, we were like, it was like, whoa, this is really happening.
Damn.
We didn't. It was a shoot to us. So they kayfabe the boys.
There's a swerve for you in it.
Yeah, and they tried to, we heard a different guy or a different company was going to buy the company every fucking week. So even when I got there and I saw the WWE shit, because they had been trying to work, all I saw was signs with WWF. It said WWF on a door or some shit like that, and I was like, are they really, is this really going? And two, maybe I just didn't want to believe it too. That could have been part of it because it was just so unbelievable. But then we had a talent meeting, and Shane McMahon walked in, and when Shane walked in, we're like, okay, well,
guess that's it.
This shit's really happening.
And I tell people, like, because, you know, I mean, that was my first year in the business. I didn't really have any, you know, inside, not in the business, obviously, but my first year in a major company. And I always say, if I could just get out of this match with this cruiserweight title, they'll at least take me up there for one shot.
They give you one match to lose it.
Yeah, if I can get out of here with just one title, I'll be okay.
Because wasn't Bischoff trying to buy it up till like the 11th hour or something? Didn't he have some people that were going to back him?
He was involved in
the
Fusion. That's right.
Was talking about buying it, but I think you know, I mean, I wasn't in the meetings, but from what I hear happened was that they WCW had fudged some of the numbers so that Fusion would think that they were worth more, and then when it really came down to them, Fusion Group auditing WWE to see where they were stood at, they backed out and said, no, it's not worth that much. You know.
If the figure I heard that they sold it for, hell, we should have got together and put some money together and bought it.
Yeah, but I don't think there's no. I've heard so many different numbers, so I don't know what the actual number was, but I think
I've never heard a very high one.
Yeah, there has not been a high one. Vince got to steal
something like $3-4 million,
something like that.
I don't know for sure, but just the WCW NWA library was worth 10 times that.
Yeah, no shit.
Just all that. So
I was in I was in Louisville at the time, and all I know is here comes a bunch of old WCW rings, and here, do something with all this shit. You know, it was just the assets that were coming up there. You know, we were setting up rings in the building to practice in and all that stuff.
So you were OVW Chopper. Did you go to HWA for a short time at all?
Nope. We stayed home for about maybe 3 months, or you know, then went right to WWE.
Was HWA is that less
That's
factory?
right, because we were doing the house shows right away. Me, you, and Kidman were the three cruiserweights that they brought up right away. How the fuck did I forget that?
Didn't they?
You know, we stayed home for maybe 6 weeks, something like that. And I think they bought us up for like a meeting somewhere, and that was about it. You know.
Yeah.
Didn't they get like 30 of y'all when they first bought your contracts with the rest of the assets?
Less than that, bro.
Was it?
Yeah.
I know there was a group of you that they bought.
I don't know. It seemed like it was like 28 to 30 though, because there was a bunch of guys that went down to HWA, and then there was a bunch of guys that came to TV.
Was HWA Les Thatcher?
Yeah, that was Les Thatcher shit. Which I'm glad. I would have quit if I'd have went down there. I wouldn't have been able to handle that whole shit.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like talking to Shannon Moore and you know, Evan and Lashley and some of those guys, like all that shit that was going on down there. I wouldn't have made it. I would have
I didn't
snapped.
hear anything. I went up there and worked one show for him.
I'd have fucking snapped, man.
And it was
somebody.
Now hold on, is this big some gun next to you? Is he? Is that your ex-partner?
Yeah.
See, I didn't recognize you before. You used to be a good-looking guy.
I used to be. Now I'm a big fat guy.
Yeah, that's when the single was.
Yeah, I was trying to think. I actually met you once.
Backstage.
Yeah, backstage. It was you. You were still with WCW, and you came to. I don't know where the show was at. But you were back there with Eddie.
Yeah. And that's when I met you. You're like, you were Helms' ex-partner. I was like,
right.
Yeah, he talks about you all the time, man.
Yeah, I remember that. Damn, I'm surprised you remember that. That's cool.
You've probably been trying to forget for all these years, and now you've been
memories
reminded.
rehashed.
It's like burned into my mind, man. After I saw your match, I was like,
You know, Eddie was at one of the very first indie shows I ever went to, and I don't know if I told you this story.
I was there.
Yeah, I know you were there, motherfucker.
Okay, then.
One of the first autographs I got was Lasertron, which is Hector. Hector and actually All American Don Kernodle were the two draws on the show, and it's the first autograph.
Actually, Kernodle was the main event. He upstaged Lasertron.
He upstaged Lasertron, and apparently Eddie was there, but I didn't. I mean, I was out in the crowd at the time, but Mike was on the show.
What's funny? This was probably 1988. It was a long time ago. And when did Eddie start? I don't know.
Start wrestling or start like WWE?
No, I mean, like, when did he start? Because the story was
he started wrestling. I think he started in Mexico, in Juarez, Mexico, like in it have to be 85 probably.
Okay, well, the irony of the story was this was an independent show, and Hector was booked, and this was right after Hector was working for Jim Crockett, doing Lasertron. Don Kernodle was booked, if that tells you how long ago that was, and Hector brought Eddie with him. And he was trying to get the promoter to book Eddie, and he was like, Eddie will work for free. The promoter was like, nah. And I was like, it's just ironic. And I was thinking, you could have got Eddie Guerrero to work for you for free, and you said no.
You know what? That's something that we always learned, was especially when you're starting out, you really got to just get your experience in front of the audience, in front of the crowds, and perform in front of people. It really didn't matter on the pay, whether you make $5 or you paid to wrestle, or if you made $100.
Yep.
It was just to get that experience out there, you know. So there was times when I started and I'd be wrestling in front of, 20 people, and I was going, God, man, please, I'm better than this. And Eddie would sit me down and say, look, shut the F up and just go out there, and this, you'll never. And when I look back at it now, I'm like, wow, I mean, he was right. Just some of the lessons and things I learned in those little shows, I still hold today, you know.
Yep, live experience.
It's a very different deal working in front of a small crowd and in front of a big crowd too. It's a lot different, you know.
I think you end up with a lot better quality wrestler when you got somebody that comes up the right way instead of some big muscle head that somebody goes and finds in a gym somewhere and puts them right out there on top.
No doubt.
Well, that goes to be just because you don't have to say that, because you look at the guys now that are coming out that have just been, from the gym or from the football field, and they just grab and this guy, hey, you want to be a wrestler? And the guy's like, yeah, okay. And you look at them come out, they're not good.
Well, yeah, I mean, because they go spend 6 months down in a training school somewhere, and then they're on TV.
But to WWE's credit, it seems lately, and I know, I mean, I just assume we're talking about WWE here, there, because they're the ones notoriously for grabbing the muscle heads and putting them on TV. But to their credit, lately they have been getting independent talent, guys that are already independent stars, and taking them to FCW as opposed to so many of the football players that had a failed football career. I mean, if you look at the top, say again.
They tried it and it didn't work, right? They tried the.
Yeah, it was stupid. Well, the one famous talent meeting that I got in trouble for when they were telling us about this youth movement shit, and I said, "What?
No.
Yeah, me." And I spoke up in the talent meeting. And it was like a talent meeting, They're telling us about this youth movement, which has never fucking worked because age doesn't matter. Nobody's IDing the wrestlers when they walk into the ring. Age doesn't. Yeah, if you're good, you're good. And you entertain. And I go, well, how about we just have a talent movement instead? And yeah, so I had to get a talking to that day, but I was serious. Like,
you were all for that youth movement when you were a youth, though.
No, I was for talent. If I didn't deserve to be there, don't bring me there just because I'm young.
No, I mean, if some guy's 65 years old and he's entertaining and talented,
yeah, I know.
Why hold him back?
Yeah.
You know what, man? It's one of those. It's a catch-22 because you can say all you want that they're out grabbing the guys from the gym and the wrong guys, but really there's no place to grab talent anymore. So I think WWE's doing what they have to do, but there's no territories anymore where these guys can get groomed and go from one territory to the next territory. Because back in the day, you didn't even make it to WWF until you were 15 years in.
Yeah.
You really did. They had the best of the best at all times,
That's true. It seemed like guys back in the early days, not the early days, but say the 80s, when they'd get their run on WWE, they'd be 35, 40 years old.
Yeah, you used to have to be good to get there. It used to be where you ended your career.
Sure.
Now it's where a lot of guys start their career. And like you take a guy, it's fucking ridiculous. You take a guy like Chris Masters, who is way better now than he ever fucking was in WWE. I mean, I seen a few matches with him recently. And I'm like, damn, he stepped up his fucking. I mean, so good that it shocked me. Because I was in the ring with him, and he was never a terrible guy. I was never bad. He always had talent. But there's a couple times recently when I was going, this motherfucker, like now he needs to be there. Like before he didn't. Before he sucked.
Will it be hard for him to
I shouldn't say he
another
sucked.
shot?
I hope he gets another shot. He deserves it.
I worked him. I've worked him a bunch of times, some indie stuff and some in India. He's really, really good. He's still got that awesome body, and man, he's really good. He's still a young guy if you want to go the young route, but he's 10 times the wrestler that he was when he started.
Yeah, because I worked him a lot when they were trying to get the masterpiece over and the master lock, and it was like and I know I just said this. I thought the match sucked just because of the way it was formulated, and.
Sure.
But like now, I mean, like that match in Manila he had with MVP, I was sitting back watching that, and I remember even Daivari going, "What the fuck got into Chris Masters? Like, where'd he come from?" And he's really that fucking good. And there's a lot of people out there like that now. I mean,
his butt off, man. He's really good. He's a talented guy.
For
a nice guy. We love Chris.
Yeah, he's a very, very nice guy. I had that big, gigantic motherfucker skipping down Sydney, Australia one time. Me, him, and Daivari. You remember that there's a gym in Sydney, and and people know I love my gay peeps. I take up for them all the time.
Yeah.
But there's a gym in Sydney which goes above and beyond any gay shit I've ever seen in my life. And so we didn't know. I don't know if we were sent there as a joke, as a rib, what we going. But we go in there, and it's pretty out there. And somehow I start talking about being gay and then being happy, and like we're going back to the hotel, and to make me, Chris, and the boy, we're going to go back and make love, evidently. You know, we do the workout. You know, you just kind of go, all right, you guys, let me lift my weights and keep your balls out of my face if at all possible. And we're going back to the gym. Back to the hotel, and somehow we start talking about being gay and happy, and somehow that leads into skipping. And I come up with this theory that you can't be upset and sad if you skip. Like the only way you could possibly skip is if you're happy. And that big gigantic, and this is when he was really big too. This big gigantic motherfucker starts skipping down the streets of Sydney. Man, I about lost my damn mind laughing at him.
He's one of those guys, man. He'll tell you. We laugh about it now because I've yelled at him probably 15 times after our matches because he's so strong that he doesn't know his own strength.
Not at all.
I can always tell when he's going to mess up, when he's going to jack something up because he gets so like he's just like starts believing the crowd and he shoots you off the rope and I'm like, you know, trying to catch myself throwing. Next, you know, he's backdropping me through the freaking rafters and I'm like, you know. And then we get in the back and I'm like, you stupid son of a bitch. I'm yelling at him and he's like, all he does is like, sorry, Charlie. I just got excited out there.
I had to actually teach him how to put the master lock on without killing people because he was killing my ass every week with it. Yeah, because
there's really no need for that to hurt.
No, the thing is, you know, sit there, you know, you let him put, like, it was in, I think, South Carolina. And I think, too, admittedly, I was aggravated because I just had put him over in North Carolina for a couple of days, and I was aggravated by that. You know how WWE is notorious. Oh, this is your home area?
Here, do
the job. And it's so, especially on a house show, it's so fucking stupid to even do that. Absolutely ridiculous. TV, where you're telling the story, some guy needs heat or whatever, different deal. On a house show, put the local guy over. Don't be a dick. But anyway, he's in there, you know, and I let him put me in that shit, and he's fucking, and he's cranking. And then after, you know, we do I'm out, whatever, tap, and he throws me down. I no-sell the shit out of it. I just get up and walk out. Like, I ain't selling, like, I'm supposed to be unconscious. I ain't not unconscious. I'm fucking mad. And I just walk to the back. And, of course, Owen sees it, and Owen's like, come here, kid. You know, and Owen's giving me the business with the glasses and shit.
Get over here.
Yeah, kid, get over here. You know, I need to see how the kid's finished. And I was just like, he's fucking breaking my neck out there. That was like one of the things I said, like, dude, you don't know how strong you are.
And when they first brought the Haas brothers in, golly, how many street fights are easier than that?
Oh, Charlie and us?
Yes, God. I mean, they put you in a headlock and you end up with bruises. You know,
Congrats, by the way, to Charlie. They just had.
Oh, I have another kid.
They did have another kid, number 4, I think.
That's like number 10 or something like that.
Number 10, we got 10 little
I'll
houses.
have a reality show here soon.
Yeah, Jackie's gonna be Octomom.
Like that, you know, they're part Mexican, part freaking Vietnamese, all into one. By Irish, they got no birth control. They're Catholic. They have like 20 kids running around, man.
But if you've seen Jackie, you've seen the shape that she stays in. To Charlie's defense, he might not just can't withhold himself.
Yeah, man. Hey, I see that.
Where do you think my little baby came from?
I had a bunch of kids with too, man. You know.
So speaking of, how's your wife and my kids doing?
What's that, brother?
Come again.
I said, how's your wife and my kids doing?
They're good. So still waiting for some child support for your ass, man.
You can't get it, man. Can't get it. No
you
DNA.
You heard it right there. You just admitted it.
This is a tape show too.
Yeah.
Download that shit.
I'm gonna edit all this shit right out.
Yeah, man. Everybody's doing real good, man. My kids are doing big, getting big, doing good. You know, everybody's doing all right. My wife's doing okay. She hasn't kicked me out of the house yet, so that's pretty good.
You guys have been married quite a while now. How long?
Yeah, man, 13 years, man.
In this day and age, that's impressive.
That's a lot, especially with a wrestler and all the crap that we put them through.
Yeah, without a doubt.
She's come close, kicked me out a bunch of times, but hey, I do that whole light, cheat, steal stuff and convince her. Wasn't me.
Do you believe me or you're lying?
She sees the pictures of your shirt off in the bars.
Yeah, exactly.
That's Chavo's motif. Like we're in the club or in a bar, the shirt comes off at some point. That's just how it happens.
It's not a party till Chavo takes his shirt off, right?
That's just how it is. Well, you were there. There was a lot of pictures out. We were in one club. Maybe I'm thinking Portugal.
Vienna, brother.
And everybody's shit just starts coming off.
Yeah, okay. This
Was Ric
time,
Flair there?
No,
we
no.
were there in Vienna, and it was right across. Right, remember that place was like it was a gay bar. It was part half gay bar, half regular bar.
That's why I was there.
So we walked in first. I'm like, oh man, I don't want to be here. Then all of a sudden, we went to the straight part.
Right.
And they put us up on stage. We had like a stage. The only people going to stay on the stage was us. We had our own security there, plus their security. So of course, Chavo takes his shirt off. Then everybody started taking their shirts off. It was funny, and people that don't even also with their shirts off had their shirts off.
Yeah, just like the whole club started.
They don't have the shirts off, bro.
And I went and got, there was this little like round thing that you could go, and I guess some strippers, they dance inside. And so I went and got inside it and took my pants off. I was holding my pants up.
Who are you, Ric
When I
Flair?
saw that, I grabbed you trying to pull you out, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they tried to get me out. But yeah, a lot of those pictures showed up, and I remember trying to explain to my girlfriend at the time, like, but we were just having fun. Like, it was, nothing really happened.
We were in that bar.
I was, out, running around, kissing everybody,
And Hornswoggle looked like a disaster with his shirt off.
Oh my God, that was retarded, man.
Here, y'all want to see something funny?
No, please don't.
Let's see your shirt off.
Hornswoggle looks like a tube sock filled with other tube socks.
Like cottage cheese in a plastic bag.
That was a good fun night, man. We had Batista out there.
There was
a double bicep right on top of the stage, totally jacked. Then
huge.
It's funny because then everybody from both clubs came over and just were watching us like on stage, like we didn't even realize it. We were just going nuts, man. That was a good night.
There was one night.
I almost killed Michael Hayes.
Was that the night?
That was the night I almost killed Michael Hayes. Yep.
What is it with you, man? You always time wanting to kill somebody.
Man, you know how it goes. Us Guerreros, we get that little temper going. And it's fun. It's good. It was all good.
Your dad's got a good temper on Twitter. I like to read your dad's Twitter.
He is crazy. If you guys don't know, follow Chavo Classic. He's crazy.
Chavo.
First of all, he can't spell word crap. I'm like, Dad, use spell check. He's like, nah, I don't like that thing. And he just, types real fast and sends it.
No grammar. He does the Spanglish thing. He throws some Spanish in there at like inopportune times where it makes no fucking sense.
Which one of your uncles was in that movie Grunt?
That was Mongo.
Remember him? He was doing the damn. He was the bull or whatever.
I don't
was
know if I've
funny
ever
as
seen
shit.
that.
He's been a bunch, man. He's been in a bunch of movies.
Man, that shit was funny. You and me watched that. It was that movie with that crazy movie where that guy with Adrian Street was in it and popped that dude's head off.
Oh yeah.
Ted Hobgood gave us the tape. I still got it. I have to get that bitch on DVD or
I
something.
think I've been trying to forget about it.
Oh man, and you hated that movie I showed you with Vern Gagne.
That was awful. He just showed me some wrestling movie from, what was the name of it?
The Wrestler,
The Wrestler with Vern Gagne and
Billy Robinson.
Billy Robinson with kind of the main story, and Dusty and Dick Murdoch in there. It's just atrocious.
It was so bad though. I loved it.
But yeah, so bad that there are parts of it that you like. But
It was just funny because you're sitting there watching it, you're looking at the referee, and you're like, "Is that Greg Gagne?" Or like, "Yeah." Some guys in the background lifting weights. Is that Ken Patera?
Yeah, right.
If Vern Gagne's got anything to do with the project, Greg Gagne's going to be in there somehow.
You got that shit right. I'm surprised he wasn't a star. Well, he
Hey,
was.
how's your little boy, man?
He's doing good, man. He's still not even supposed to be here. We're shooting it. We're filming this on August the 8th. This will probably go up this weekend, by the way. He's not even supposed to be here till August 12th, and he's awesome.
here.
Really?
Yeah,
He looks good, man. He doesn't look
no.
Like
small or.
Daddy, he's a little fighter, huh?
Yeah, he never. I mean, he was born early, but apparently that's just a common thing now. And I talked about this on one of the shows that it might be. They think I've read, and I say they. It might be a few days, or it might be 1,000 days, but that it might be an evolutionary thing. So many children are being born early, and they can't really pinpoint one particular reason why. And when he came out, no oxygen, never had to be on anything, like just came out. He was at 10.
That was your seed going, man, I got to get out of here. What's going on out there, man?
Well, I was bad with time cues a lot, too. So I just attributed to that. I would either go over my time or under my time. I very rarely hit the fucking mark. So I was like, he listens to time cues just like I do. Do you still do a lot of indie dates, or you just regulate? Is your TNA schedule going to be pretty stiff?
I got some left, I just started with TNA, so I'm able to finish out the ones that I had. But, yeah, definitely still taking some bookings. And what's cool about TNA is I'm allowed to kind of do other things.
Yeah, I do like that.
yeah, man. So I'll definitely take some that are worth it. The ones that are worth it and the ones that aren't.
Be a little picky. The I don't know if you noticed this, Mike, but on the I'm a Wrestling Fan app, there's actually Chavo there that's taking that
Heck
choke.
yeah, fixing to get it.
That's me taking the track. Someone's got to make you look good. You know what I'm saying?
It's hard. It's hard these days.
Those give foot of yours.
This on one. I don't know if it's this particular night, but I did the choke slam to him in Lucha Libre USA. He rolls out of the ring onto a table, the ring announcer's table, and breaks the iPad of like one of the owners of the company.
Nice.
His iPad. I rolled out to mess with them, and I saw the table there, and I was going to roll the table, and they had this cheap-ass little table out there, and it fell down and broke. So then I fell down, and then I went to stand up, and I stood right on the guy's iPad, and he walked out there. Oh!
And it was literally fucking like 2 weeks after the iPad 2 came out. Like, that motherfucker was so brand new, it was ridiculous. And then it had
He had insurance on it.
Chavo's footprint all over the fucking thing.
Yeah. You know what? He kind of wouldn't talk to me after that.
he was shoot hot. I would be too. He fucked my iPad up. I'm gonna be angry. But that's very cool, man. I wanted to play too. The song you sent me. Is this your interest music in TNA, or is this something different that you're working on?
No, not yet. No, that's something that I worked on with Mad One, same guy who he did Rey Mysterio's music. The last couple of them, he's a West Coast rapper and Chicano like me. You know what I'm saying? Mexican American. So I went to him right before I left WWE, and I said, look, I want to get some new ring music. I like your style, So he right away worked on it and came up with something real cool. And I presented to WWE, but what happened is that I ended up taking off, So I was like, no, I want to keep that, So we were just sitting at home, and I thought to him, like, well, man, let's release this on iTunes. So we went back in. I cut some of the tracks on there, So it's kind of now Mad One featuring Chavo Guerrero, and we did a little. It's pretty good, I really like it. I get some really good feedback from it. So I'm actually going to release this on some iTunes.
All right, I'm gonna play a little short sample. Let the people hear this real quick.
Yeah, man.
¿Quieres pedo, güey? Now chale.
¿Quieres pedo? Nah, chale. Ya sabes que a mí me vale. ¿Quieres pedo? Nah, chale. You know that I'm down for the high. Booty, let's get down. Knuckle up and boogie and beat down. Knuckle up and boogie, let's get down. Everybody gather round. Soy el Chavo. Do you know what that means? Got my back against the wall, so I go the extreme. Watch out, homie. Slow your roll before I bounce on your head like a 64. See, good game beats all game. That's why I'm calling out.
Well, I don't want to give away too much, man. That's badass. That's badass. I like that.
That's all right. Let's get that little Chicano West Coast little feel, you know what I'm saying, with a little Texan, little Mexican in there, but a little Spanglish, you know what I'm saying. But it's good, man. He came up with that real fast, and just was just one of those talented guys that can just spit those lyrics out and just kill it,
Yeah, that's good, man. It's always good to have your own shit.
Yeah, man.
Interest music is very important, and sometimes, like,
Yeah.
I got to be careful on Twitter. Not be careful. Well, I don't know why I say that. I should be more careful. That way I wouldn't get as much flack. But I like to just like throw my opinions out there. And I know I talk about like Big Show's interest music. I think it's for his character right now. It's just awful. It's dreadful for his character.
That same old shit he's been using.
Yeah, he's like this week in particular. At the end of the show, he's standing and he's this big monster heel. And he's standing over these dead bodies, and you hear, well, and immediately you're like, fuck it. Interest music is very important. If you ain't got something that...
Mark Henry's, that just fits him, doesn't it?
Mark Henry's is awesome. I always like the MVPs. That's real good.
Oh, yeah.
When I had that, right when I turned heel, like my Hurricane Stand Back shit I loved.
Yeah.
Right when I turned heel, and like they had the Titantron with the big glasses, and it was I hated that fucking song so much. It would take me out of my game sometimes. Because you back there, you get warmed up, and Chavo, what I'm talking about, you sitting there, fucking getting into the game and getting character, and you're getting that adrenaline where you need to be so you can go out there and do your shit. And man, the music can elevate that. You can hear that shit.
Throw water on the fire.
Oh, that I would hear that, and I was like, God damn it.
And this is what the fans would think. Wah, wah,
Exactly. That music inspired no reaction.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't a cheer, it wasn't a buzz, just like eh.
They're waiting on Butch Reed to come out.
Then the new one, yeah, Butch. They're waiting on Hugh Morris to come out so they could go who, but
Oh wow.
what?
Huge day.
Who damn right. But like I gave them that song the It's Time song that I ended up with toward the end. That I like that one a lot. I gave them Shut 'Em Down by Public Enemy.
Oh, you will kick somebody's ass if you listen to that.
That's what I wanted. I said this is what I want. Shut 'em down. And and if you like that, you got to check out Chavo, Immortal Technique, and his website is Viper Records, and you can download his whole album for free on there. He's giving it away for free. And he's a very Chuck D type rapper, but with a better flow. He's very intelligent like that. And if you like Shut 'Em Down, you got to check out Black Vikings, because you'll be sitting there listening to it, and you just like want to just go fucking knock somebody out the second you hear it. Like it really gets you jazzed.
Throw that clothesline.
Dang! But yeah, my last interview music was supposed to be inspired by Shut 'Em Down, although it didn't sound fucking nothing like it. But that was what I wanted. But yeah, that music right there, that should get you going. You're Knuckle Up.
Surprised you didn't go with King of Rock.
Knuckle Up Boogie, man. Knuckle Up Boogie.
But
you look for an iTunes. You'll see it soon.
But you're not using that in TNA yet?
No. We talked about it a little bit. I think they want to do more of their own in-house music. Sometimes, they don't want to. Organizations don't want to hire out.
Right.
They're sometimes. So, which is cool. No doubt. We'll do something real cool and catchy. It's still evolving right now, my music. So it'll eventually give that feel to where you come out and you'll be like, all right, cool. This is we're down.
That's very good, man. I'm definitely glad to see you on there. Like, are you and Super Mex Son? Are y'all gonna be teaming up a lot, or is that was just you don't know? You're just kind of rolling with it.
I think it's something that we'll hopefully do some teaming up, and then do our own thing, and then back together. And so it's just going to have somebody have your back, and you got his back.
You need to get in there with that little Rosita. She got a little Latina flavor.
Tina Flash, she's a good girl too, man. She's very cool. You know her, she's cool.
Yeah. She just had on the show last week or the week before or some shit like that. Yeah, she's great.
Cool.
Well, it's very good, man. Like I said, I ain't gonna keep you too longer. You're doing great. I'm very happy for you, man. You made that right.
Talk about anything good? About anything worthwhile?
I don't. I do want to bring this up. I said this is kind of hot little topic. Your boy Kevin Nash made some pretty interesting comments in an interview recently. And we got a muscle mark, big man Mark over here too.
Don't tag me with that.
I'm
man.
just saying, you know. And he said that Benoit and Eddie being the champions at the same time killed the business. If I'm not paraphrasing that.
And I do believe Chris Jericho pointed out that the worst year WWE ever had was '95 when he was the champion. I'm just saying. Your
thoughts, since he mentioned a member of your family, what do you think about it? Obviously, I saw what your dad said.
Yeah.
As much as I could decode it.
Sure.
and translate it into something that processable. But how do you feel about that?
It's one of those things that I didn't really respond to it on Twitter. I basically just said, hey, when is anything Nash said relevant? Said anything relevant in ever? So it's one of those that, man, do I address it and give it some validity, or do you just say, hey, this is some jackass that doesn't really? It just kind of speaks for itself. It doesn't really. It shows everybody that he has got no clue. So I almost don't even have to say anything, because it's like, he kind of said it all himself. It's kind of like, that's like saying the world is flat.
Right.
If I say that, say, hey, the world is flat, and I truly, no one's going to give you any credibility. So he almost, discredited himself there, in my opinion. Now, he's got his own opinion, and it's fine. The guy's, he's done something right. He's made some money in this business, but, to me, it's not about, this is money. This business is a business, and yes, you got to feed your family, but it's not all about making money. To me, I love this business, and it's about entertaining these fans that are, they're paying to see me. I got to go out there and, I got to perform for them and give them their money's worth, So, it's one of those that you just, do I say something about it, or do I just shut up and just let him hang himself? And I kind of let him hang himself.
Hadn't he spent the last 5 years picking on Ricky Morton?
Yeah, I don't know if that's
I don't know how much of that was at work or what. The next thing I know, they had a big show together somewhere.
All I really said was that he's earned his opinion. I said I didn't agree with it. I think if anything, I mean, if you look back at the downfall of WCW, his finger poke of doom with Hogan was one of the defining moments of when people changed the fucking channel.
That thing
Like
turned quick.
that's historically proven. That's a fact. Like
Sure.
the weeks after that finger poke of doom, and like the whole big man little thing, you know, like me and MVP was kind of joking about it. People didn't get it. It's like, if you watch boxing, you watch MMA, you watch all these other sports, nobody gives a fuck about size. It just doesn't exist anymore.
I agree.
Like the sport has evolved. Like Klitschko, like the world championship in boxing was defended a couple weeks ago, but nobody gave a fuck because the whole world was watching two guys that weigh 185 pounds, Anderson Silva and Chael Sonnen.
You know what I noticed too is in wrestling, anything can be done if it's done right.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, that was that big man era in the WWF. You know, when everybody had to be 6'9". You know, and the reason that happened is because Vince is a big man mark. You know, he loves the big man, and that's cool, no problem. But if you love the small man, it'd be a total different thing. You know, people would be saying something else. You know, but it's funny because Kevin Nash's one of his best friends is Shawn Michaels, arguably one of the best pro wrestlers, best performers of all time, who's 5'11", 175 pounds. So Eddie and Benoit were both bigger than him. Not taller, but bigger, jacked way more than he was, you know? So it's kind of like, well, look, Bret Hart's not a big guy. Kurt Angle's not a big guy. Chris Jericho's not a big guy.
And I think all those guys are bigger than Mike Tyson.
Yeah, exactly. Mike Tyson's is tiny. I'll knock his ass out.
Easy, boy. Keep the shirt on. Keep the shirt on.
Tyson's one of my boys. He's a good guy, man. I really like Mike Tyson. You know, it's one of those you just, what do you do?
It's the big man complex. The little man complex is annoying as shit. The big man complex is just as annoying. You know, and I think too, like,
are we selling tickets? You know, like Kevin Nash said, walking, in the airport, you're going to see a small guy and think, oh, he's the WWF champion. But are we selling tickets in the airport? Are we selling tickets on TV?
I ain't never bought a ticket in the airport.
Me, I think you're selling tickets on TV, and anything can be done if you do it right, But
and most celebrities can walk.
Airport.
Most celebrities can walk through an airport and not be noticed. You live near LA. All the time you see people and you're like, I don't even know if that's that motherfucker not, and you don't even worry about it, and it ends up being.
Right. Then you look and you see, let's say Eddie Benoit or Rey Mysterio, and you see this little guy, and you see him on TV, and you're like, wow. As soon as you turn in, you see these guys, and you keep watching because it's incredible matches with a lot of big guys, a la Nash. You see them in the airport, whoa, and then you see them on TV, and you change the channel because it's not good.
Well, I told Mike this too before. I think too, like in the big man era, it was a mystique to see a guy 6'6", 6'8", 6'9", because you didn't see it. You can see them motherfuckers grow on trees now. They're everywhere. Like Mike, what are you, 6'6"?
6'4".
6'4", I mean, they're motherfuckers. Like you watch the NBA, the smallest guy on there is 6'4".
That's where you get fooled. I used to watch Vinny Del Negro, and I was like, damn, that motherfucker's short. And I go out there and see him, he's 2 inches taller than I am.
Yeah, fucking big.
Yeah, look at, remember Starks? John Starks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go out there. He was 6'4", man. He was out there dunking on people, and he looked tiny out there.
He did.
Yeah.
You'd think he was like 5'8".
Yeah.
Bob Sura. I used to see Bob Sura, and I'm like, what is he, 5'7", 5'8"? And he's like 6'5", 6'6".
Yeah,
Like, damn.
That's weird.
I think it's definitely a place for that, but obviously it's been proven you don't have to be big anymore to be successful. Talent should always be.
Anytime, really, and I don't say all big men because you got Taker, you got Kane that will have a good match with anybody you put them in the ring with. Incredible performers, incredible athletes, great guys. But majority, a lot of the big guys you put in the ring with, you got to put them in with a small guy to make them look good.
Right.
You put two of them in together, you've seen it. You've seen any Khali match, whatever. You put Khali and Kevin Nash in a match together. What do you think's going to happen?
A best of 7, Khali versus Kevin Nash match. Would it draw? Could we put that on the Mania? Best of 7.
You'd have to let all the matches last about a minute and a half.
you know what, brother? Again, yeah. If you're one of those that they'd hype the heck out of it, it'd get people to tune in. But once you saw the match, you would change it.
Because when Khali walks through an airport, people notice him. So that must mean that he's a draw in wrestling.
Well, why is it? Here's my question: why is it that guys like Taker and Kane just don't seem to come around anymore?
Because that's a rare breed, man. Taker and Kane, I hate when guys say that they're one of the best big men ever. Because big men actually confines them.
That's like
they're
saying
one
you're
of
the nicest guy in prison.
Yeah, they're two of the best guys ever.
Yeah,
Kane especially. If you watch some of the stuff he's doing lately, that motherfucker is moving. He's rolling. He's busting his ass. He's doing really great stuff in it. And because Punk and Bryan are at such a level, and he's in there with him, and people are talking about Punk and Bryan, and they're not really mentioning him, in my opinion, as much as they should. But he's in there doing his thing. And Taker has always been good. And when people say he's one of the best big men, I'm like, no, he's not one of the best big men. He's one of the best ever, period. He don't have bad matches.
I think there's an ideal strength to body weight ratio that you can get when you're, say, Daniel Bryan size that enables you to do things that a 300-pound guy just physically couldn't do.
Yeah, I mean, athleticism is just, I mean, if you're watching the Olympics, man, there's shit out there. I watch the Olympics every day, and there's shit I couldn't even fucking imagine doing. And then, like, they'll do, like, you watch some of that gymnastics shit, and it's the most amazing thing you ever saw. And one of the announcers go, oh, they're going to get a point deduction for that?
Yeah, they'll say that shit. And they'll say they slipped or something. I'm watching it going,
what the fuck are you talking
I
about?
didn't see it. Where the fuck they slipped?
Yeah,
that girl, that black girl they had on there the other day, they're like,
Gabby.
Being in the ring with many big guys. A lot of times, I really gotta bust my ass to make the match good, because a lot of times the guys can't do it. So you got to work your butt off to make that match good. Make them look good, make yourself look good, make the match look good. But like being in the ring with Taker and Kane, I really had to bust my ass to hang with those guys, because they were that good that, man, I was like, man, I can't let them carry me. I got to bust my butt even harder, because that's how good they were. So, and as far as doing the actual match, that was so easy with those guys. I mean, it was like a night off every single night working those guys. When Shane, you've been in the ring with a lot of big guys, and it's like you're doing double, triple duty, just trying to.
Yeah.
Don't look at me. Don't look at me.
Match, you know.
Hell yeah, you need fucking hazard pay. I think I asked JR for hazard pay one time. I don't know. I don't think I got it, but there was a request for hazard pay.
Hazard pay.
There may have been a Heidenreich involved or somebody like that. You know, somebody that I was going out there and I was just getting.
Man, I had to work with that dude in Louisville.
I liked him. I teamed with him. No, I did work him a couple times on TV. I can't I don't know. It was one of those.
He was part of our little heel stable.
John Heidenreich. Oh, you Little Johnny?
I guess. Little Jimmy.
Little Jimmy. Did Little Johnny and Little Jimmy ever meet?
Maybe.
Hey, Vicky, you got to give it up for Vicky. Vicky's doing good in there too, man.
Vicky's awesome.
Best heel reaction on the show.
Eddie's looking down and smiling, man. This was a girl that really was never trying to get into the business.
Yeah, she didn't have an interest in it.
She came by the show one time just to, I decided to do a vignette with her and I, and then she came up with the idea, like, hey, Vince, what if I help Chavo and you turned on Rey Mysterio? And Vince was like, his eyes popped over like, that's really good. And then, and this kind of just how it started, man. And she just, took it and ran. And I love it because now she understands Eddie a lot more. She's actually able to be part of this business.
Right.
And see when Eddie was happy, and see when Eddie was just upset and sad because of how this business can mess with you a little bit. She goes through the same thing. Sometimes, she's like, man, she's all stoked up because she just had an awesome performance and they all loved it and great. And sometimes she'll be pissed off and say, so-and-so, whatever. But she understands it now,
It's a hard business to understand, like, until you do it. And
Tough.
You can watch it all you want, but until you do it, it is hard to figure out. Chavo, we're going almost an hour here, man. I want to thank you again for doing Highway to Helms. You're going to be awesome in TNA, man. I want to see some gold around the waist. Frog splashing your way to victory, man. And always been a big fan of yours and a great friend. And thanks for all you do, man. I really appreciate it.
Oh, man, thanks a lot, man. Thank you for always supporting the Guerrero family, La Familia Guerrero. And Viva la Raza. And watch me on TNA, guys. Impact Wrestling. Give me some good stuff.
Hey, it was good talking to you again, man.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it, guys.
Okay.
Thank
Javo,
you. God bless you guys, and always a pleasure, man.
You're a great dude, man.
See you.
Thanks, brother. You too.
Later.
Love you, man. All right.
Boom!
Shakalaka-laka.
That's a great guy, man.
Yeah, he's cool.
So I didn't want to really talk about Raw too much while we have a TNA talent on there.
You
So
don't
I was
put him in an awkward situation.
no need to do that. I'm sure Chavo wouldn't even care. He probably would have talked about it. He's like myself. He's a student of the game. You know, even when I was in WWE, you know, I always watch other wrestling and stuff like that. I never felt bad about it. I think you always can learn more, no matter what. You can learn from every match. You can learn from watching stuff.
You can learn from watching something good from watching something bad.
Learning what not to do is almost as important as what learning to do. I think I fucked that up somehow, but you
know what he means.
You get it. So what's going on with you? How's Raw? I know you hate pretty much everything, but
I watched it this morning, actually.
oh, this morning. Okay.
Yeah, because
prepare for the show.
Yeah, well, I'm over there, trying to, and I'm making notes.
I see you got a note. Look, this motherfucker has wrote some notes.
It was, if I had to say, it was maybe a slight upturn this week.
Okay.
I mean, there was more positive things on there that I liked. I think all the matches on there were good. All 3 or 4 of them in the 4-hour show or whatever it was.
Yeah.
But they just keep doing some of the same old shit, man. And I think they need to change it up. You just can't keep doing the same thing for 10 or 12 years. And I mean, don't you agree?
I agree, unless the same thing is working.
I guess. I mean, all I hear is business is down. But I mean, I would shake that stuff up.
The naysayers say that. Them motherfuckers are still raking in money. The only way they
I'm
lose
sure
money
they're
is when
raking
they
in
do other bad. Well, if they're making their money,
Well, when
then
they start
business
trying to play football and hire bodybuilders
and buy tout, social media shit. 5 years after it becomes popular.
Well, the first thing I wrote in my notes, and we've talked about this before, is I'm really sick of that omnipotent GM thing where they come out and make impromptu matches.
Yeah.
That's just something that was good if it's done, just enough. But when that's all you do, it takes away from the credibility of the show. It makes that show, when a world champion, has to defend his belt once a month, and you can do a story where you say, okay, he hadn't defended his belt, whatever. But when you're the world champion, you show up at the TV taping, and the GM walks in there and says, "You're wrestling the Big Show and Khali in a mixed handicap match, for the belt." What the fuck? Nobody would go along with that. I don't think it's realistic. I mean, they're going. I mean, for the past 12, ever since the Steve Austin McMahon thing worked,
right.
And that's like the NWO angle. It worked, and then they kept going back to it until they killed it. And just this, it's like now it's AJ.
Right.
Which nothing against the job she's doing. I mean, she's not Meryl Streep or anything, but I guess she's doing okay.
Yeah, she's doing a good job. I think that
I was kind of hard on her at first, but I'm actually she's getting better, so that's always a good thing.
She's good, and her popularity is what's I think gave her that position. I think they want to keep her on TV, and that's why they did it. From a storyline standpoint, it doesn't make any sense because Vince lost his position because he was crazy and making bad decisions. So then he comes back and puts a crazy girl, because that's a gimmick, in that same position. Like, from storyline and continuity, that doesn't make sense. But from a business standpoint, I know why they did it. She's a popular girl. She's over. And so, I mean, they want to keep her in a role that keeps on TV a lot, And Stephanie's always been pro girl power. Stephanie likes to keep girls out there as much as they can. And, I mean, they haven't had the divas haven't even been shown on TV in a wrestling capacity. This week was the first time in actually quite a while. And this week, they actually had a decent match. Kelly and Eve that was actually pretty good.
It wasn't bad. But you know what used to kill me when I was working there about these diva matches?
What?
Well, you know how they set the ring up at noon or 1 o'clock, the ring's up, and guys kind of go out there and, practice, do whatever, stretch, workout, do whatever they want to do, go over stuff for their match. If there was a fucking girls match on the card that night, then 2 girls and some agent would be in that ring for 2 or 3 hours working out a 5-minute match.
That still went on till I was there.
And we're standing around on the floor going, come on, man.
Now, you couldn't even go in and practice a move because these girls had to practice their shit, move for move for move.
And fucking Michael Hayes or somebody would be out there with them, and they'd be fucking it up and fucking it up.
Yeah.
It's just like simple shit. And you feel like getting in there going, look, this is how you do it.
Yeah, oh, totally. That was going on till I left. And so, yeah, they still do that.
And then they go out there and try to kill each other.
Yeah. The thing too, you're talking about the spur of the moment matches a while ago. I actually tweeted that whenever they do that, they should do something was like, all right, well, you guys have a match next. They should do something where they go like to Gorilla and there's two other guys that are getting ready for a match and go, you guys can't have a match.
Yeah, like it's a shoot.
Yeah, because it's like, are we supposed to assume that they had no matches planned and they just throw these spontaneous matches out there and you guys go do it? Actually, we do this show every week, but this week we didn't have any fucking matches planned, so let's do this
I see how it
spontaneous.
helps them too, because they can't advertise the main event for the next show.
Yeah, it's pretty odd.
You don't think it would work to go back to saving the main event matches for the pay-per-views and maybe doing?
I don't know, like because from a business standpoint, that TV ratings is almost as important as what pay-per-view buys are now.
I guess.
Yeah,
That's something that I don't really.
Yeah, that's something you got to take in. There's a reason why they do that. They want people watching, and I don't know if people would watch squash matches or anything less than pay-per-view quality matches. You got to have a pay-per-view match on TV every week now, or people are just not going to watch. I'm not going to watch CM Punk versus Joe Blow from independent area number 101. I'm not going to watch that. Not every week.
I never liked squash matches because I thought, it just doesn't make any sense when you get two guys out there and they're, one guy looks like he's completely helpless and weak and pathetic, and he just, he looks exactly like the other dude.
Right.
The top guy's out there beating the shit out of some guy, and the guy punches him in the face. He don't sell it. He don't register. He just slings the guy all over the ring. That's not making your wrestling show look good when you get that kind of a putz out there.
Like, I don't mind that because that does happen. You see that, you watch UFC, there's going to be a fighter against a new guy that you don't know. That's fine. It happens in boxing. If you watch, you used to watch Tuesday night fights all the time and stuff like that, and there'll be somebody I know against somebody I didn't know, and the journeyman, to come along, and then you got like a Jesse Ferguson who's a journeyman and comes out there and fucking wins something big, and shit like that. I don't mind that, but you can't have 2 to 3 hours of that. You can throw that in there. With the Ryback thing, whatever he's doing there, an enhancement to get a guy familiar, because you don't have that Saturday morning show, which is what all those shows used to be, WWF Superstars or WCW Worldwide or, whatever. Even TBS, when they did the 2-hour show, that was actually contradicting myself. That WCW 2-hour show during the day, there was a lot of job work matches on there. But toward the end, they'd have some good shit.
The 605 to 805.
605 to 805 Superstation. Be there.
I used to love that show because it was current. You'd watch the syndicated shows, and sometimes the stuff they were doing would be a week or two behind.
Yeah, but
the syndicated show was, they taped it that day, and actually went and watched it one time. Got tickets for the studio audience.
I thought the Shawn Hunter Brock thing was really well done.
Well, see, I think Punk and Cena is a good program. That seems like the way they're going. They've done it before.
It is. Cena, Punk's mic work was really way better than. It's way more believable. Cena's really stuck in that hokey thing, and I wish that he would try to just stop telling jokes. And you want to be entertaining and stuff like that, but I don't know. He's got so much of that cliche wrestler talk right now. Wes, Punk's delivery is just.
Punk's got this way of is cutting a promo where it just sounds real.
Yeah, he believes it.
Yeah, and I don't know if they're. I don't know if they're writing that shit for him or if he's coming up with it or what they're letting him do. But the way he delivers it, it sounds like it's legit.
It's probably a collaboration. I imagine they give him stuff and he puts a spin on it and makes it better. And he's got a great vocabulary. He's a very intelligent guy, man. He reads a lot. Big comic fan. That shit helps you.
Well, you remember, what was it, a year or two ago when they first did that thing with him where he started coming out and sitting on the ramp and just giving those real shoot-style promos?
I do.
And all the goofballs on the internet that think they're smart are going, he's really shooting. He's doing it for real.
Yeah. And
I'm sitting there going, there are still marks out here.
Yeah. Nothing happens at Vince.
Yeah.
But it's cool. The suspension of disbelief is good. And
that is good. That is good. If you can get people to talk about it like that, well, they go, now that might have been real.
And what it doesn't mean that what he says isn't real. It just, Vince might have just been like, I don't care. Let him be real. At the same time, if it makes money, Vince ain't going to care if you call him a dickhead if it's going to make him $1 million.
No, if it makes him money, he'd be a dickhead.
Yeah, so. He played one on TV. He went out there and Vince would, Rikishi would, fucking give him a stink face. He shaved his hair. He pissed himself. He did everything in the world. So Vince doesn't have a massive ego in that respect. So.
No, he's definitely not afraid to be the butt of the joke. Another thing they keep doing is just they open every show the same.
Every show is
The
basically
first
the same.
fucking segment. Somebody comes down. This week I wrote it down. First segment promo. AJ. See that word right there? I don't know if you can read that.
AJ sucks.
Well, it wasn't meant to necessarily go with her.
Oh.
It's just the first segment.
Yeah, they're
But then
real.
I'm sitting there and I'm going, and I wrote this right here. I wrote interruption by ... And then boom, here comes
Oh,
promo.
so you knew that was coming. You
Yeah.
wrote interruption by.
Yeah, before I wrote his name, because I knew
Okay.
somebody was coming out there, because they do it every week.
Every
And then I said somebody else is going to come out here, so I wrote that again. Boom, here's Cena, and then Big Show. I mean, it's just that's the same thing every week, and it's so predictable. You know, somebody's going to come out there, and it takes so fucking long. That thing lasted like 10 minutes. It was just people standing around talking.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't see what's wrong with doing that sometimes. Sometimes doing a promo backstage. And I don't like the promos where you come out, not for every promo, where you come out to the ring and you're walking around in the ring with a mic rambling.
you like that old school fucking
I don't care if it's
Gordon Soley back there.
Yeah, I don't care if it's in the ring. I don't care if it's in the locker room, at a podium. I just like an announcer asking questions and the wrestler respond. It's more of it just looks more believable to me. I mean, could you picture getting ready to watch a football game and one of the players walking out to the middle of the field with a microphone and standing out there walking around talking shit about the other team?
Actually, I'd pop.
Yeah, that would be funny.
Fucking
Until they
great.
start doing it every week.
Yeah, I don't know what they do with that. I mean, in a lot of cases it works, but the negative, like you say, is that it's every fucking week. I wouldn't mind them. You know, they starting the show with two guys in the ring.
Yeah, just have a little quick pace match. You know, one that's not really, the main.
But
event.
you know what? I was watching UFC on Fox the Saturday night, and I forget what I tweeted. I was like, we're about 20 minutes in, 20 to 30 minutes in. I said, and we've seen 6 minutes of action, because there was one round, and then the guy got knocked the fuck out in the first minute of the second round. I was like, we're 20, 30 minutes in, 6 minutes of action. Kind of sounds like Raw. So, maybe.
Well, let's see what they had.
Somebody's following somebody's formula.
Then they had Punk versus Ray. That was a good match.
Right.
And I started watching the match. I'm like, all right, this match is going to be good, and they're going to do something stupid for the finish on it. And actually, I thought the finish made sense.
Yeah, definitely. Punk being champ strong, I don't think. He's still in that in-betweener stage.
He didn't, the finish didn't hurt Ray. It was good. I think he did the splash off the top. Punk got his knees up.
Yeah. Go to sleep.
Did you see the new Wade Barrett thing? I like that.
My nickname for him is Wade the Blade Barrett. Ain't that bad?
Yeah, the
Like
old
too-
John L. Sullivan.
Like if what?
The old.
Oh yeah. Like too, like that's insane. Like he cuts people with his knuckles like that. Like Razor Ruddock was called Razor Ruddock because of his penchant for cutting people. Or so I'm told.
Isn't that Wade Barrett? Isn't that what he did? He was like some bare knuckles fighter or something.
Oh yeah, I've heard
again?
that. I don't really know him personally, so I've heard that. I mean, I've had conversations with him, but I don't think we ever got into
Well,
that.
they brought him out as like that leader of Nexus and all that stuff, and he was kind of, I don't know, just when the whole thing came around, he was kind of plain Jane.
How many notes we got here?
Well, this notebook was something I was using or
Okay.
something else. Did Christian put somebody on?
I think they just need him, using him as a utility person for it. They want to do good stuff with Alberto Del Rio, high hopes, and I'm all for that. I don't think that Christian was the right guy in that, but he's one of those guys too, and I've been in that position a million times where you know that he can make anybody look good. It's always going to be good 100% of the time, and it becomes that, it's a very utilitarian position. I hope I'm using that word right, but
Good hand.
Yeah, and I fucking hate that. He has a good hand. I mean, Christian's literally one of the best in the world.
No, I agree.
Best there's ever been.
When I saw him, when they advertised Del Rio, and then they come back from the commercial, and I see Christian standing in the ring, and he didn't even get a ring entrance. I'm like,
Yeah, that was bad. And I was actually thinking too, like what happens in sports a lot when you got somebody primed to go to a big game or a big match or a big fight or something, they slip up and lose. I was wondering if they're going to do that with Christian. He ended up doing that later on in the night with Riley and Ziggler. So maybe that's why they didn't do it with Christian or anything. But it's very odd. He came back, had that very short Intercontinental title reign, lost to The Miz, which I thought was ridiculous. So yeah, I don't know. He's kind of stuck,
well, I've never heard of him being a heater or anything.
No, he's a great guy.
He's always been easy to work with, hasn't he? He does business.
He's got them damn mallet hands, though. Motherfuckers are stiff.
Loosen it up there a little bit, brother.
What we got next, man? Hit me with some good shit.
Randy versus Big Show.
It was good.
It's all right. I think they could take Big Show and do something better with him than what they're doing. I mean, He's been on TV for so long, and then they fluctuate back and forth between making him a clown and then making him a monster.
Yeah, see, now, I mean, it goes back to what I was saying earlier with the music. He comes out with his T-shirt, which is a big golden grizzly bear or something that looks cartoonish as shit. His music is cartoonish as shit. He physically could be literally the most physically imposing guy on the show. But those things are such a disconnect. When I hear that music, I immediately go, I don't give a fuck. That music.
Well, you can picture all the stupid shit they've had him do over the years where he's coming out with the same music.
I tweeted, and this will make it feel even better. Just imagine you're watching Friday the 13th. And Jason's got the fucking knife, and he's going to kill somebody. And instead of hearing, you hear, well, it's big, Jason. You don't give a fuck.
You look up there and go, man, just put the fucking knife down and get the fuck out of here.
You. That's immediately what you would do.
I was running out of time at this point. I was really going fast. Was that a double count out?
Yeah.
Because I was watching, and then they got back in the ring, and I saw Randy hit his thing on him there, and then they just started playing music, and there was like no ref around him.
Yeah, it was a double count out. So that wasn't bad. It was actually a good match.
See, that's a good way. You know, I don't like taking these big guys like that and just putting people over on them all the time. I mean, I'm not saying they shouldn't ever put anybody over, but, you know, if you had Ric Flair, the world champion, and here comes Andre, the first thing Flair's going to do is he's not going to try to defend his title against Andre.
Right.
You know, he's going to get out of that and go defend it against somebody he thinks he can handle. But if he does get in there with Andre, he's not going to go in there and pin him. It's going to be a count out or something. You know, he's going to slip out of there somehow. And I know you can't do that too much, or, you know, the fans will feel cheated or whatever. But I thought that was a good way to finish that match. What do you think about Ryback?
I like it. I think Ryback's got a lot going against him in the Goldberg comparison and shit like that. And that just annoys me. I mean, the guy's bald and muscled, so you got to compare him to Goldberg. And I know a lot of people say, well, it's the push too. But Goldberg was not the first undefeated guy ever. Andre didn't lose a match for 97 years. Nikita came in bald, singlet, undefeated, way before Goldberg ever thought about it in business. Goldberg was actually mimicked after Steve Austin. So the fact that they're chanting a guy's name for some shit that he did in a mimic fashion himself is just stupid. Yeah.
Now, you were there. Was the Goldberg thing something that they saw him at the power plant and said, we're going to do something with this guy, or was it just where they put him out there and he got himself over?
No, I don't think they even saw him at the power plant. I think they saw him at the gym or something. I think he worked out with somebody.
I mean, I'm just saying, was he brought in to be pushed that heavy, or is that something where he just kind of took it on? Because I know they brought him out there and did, you know, jobbed him a few times early on, and then all of a sudden he started taking off.
Well, if they jobbed him and it wasn't on TV, the first time he was on TV, it was off to the races.
Wasn't he one of those guys that Roddy Piper beat four of them up at the same time?
Not that I'm aware of. His first TV exposure that I'm aware of was against Hugh Morris, and he was just in the ring. Hugh Morris got the big intro. He's going to be the star, and Goldberg beat him.
Well, I think that spear, he just did that spear so well.
Yeah, I mean, he just got up. I think they were going to give him a decent push and see what happens. Here's a guy that's got something, and I don't think anybody thought it was going to be as big as it was, but it was damn awesome. You know, it was a good run.
Now he was pretty limited on what he could do, right?
Yeah, but you work around it. When you got a guy, you know, if you got Arnold Schwarzenegger, you work around Arnold Schwarzenegger.
You know who I thought had the best match of anybody with him, and it wasn't Hogan, but I thought Hogan did a good job with him.
There's a couple. I thought Paige did great. And Raven did great.
Was the one because everybody else would go out there and just work with him for, you know, really short, you know, a couple of things and then put his.
Paige had a good one. Paige had a very underrated
match. I have to go look that one up. But Raven went out there and won about 15 minutes with him.
Raven, actually, I've always thought Raven should have went over in that match, because the thing about the Goldberg push is this: once he's beat the entire company,
then
you push the entire company down just to raise the one guy. Like, what happens
when
that one guy's still
some kind of vulnerability?
And it could have been something easy. Like I remember they might even have did the spot. Like Raven had that stop sign in there.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking that Goldberg would go for the spear. And in the midst of the spear, Raven could even flow DDT him right on that stop sign.
Who finally, Bret Hart or somebody finally beat him, didn't he? When he put that damn big hubcap underneath his hockey jersey or something?
Beat Goldberg? Didn't he get beat with the fucking taser by Nash?
Yeah, maybe that was it. Of course. And that was when Nash was calling his own shots. Hey, what do you say?
Seemed like there was a taser. Don't tase me, bro! Like a taser or a fucking cattle prod.
That's right, because he got it from the Mountie.
The fucking Mountie beat Goldberg.
Did you ever see that gimmick that the Mountie had up close?
I I think the Dynamite Kid saw it. Right in the fucking teeth.
It was
No.
it was a fucking it was like a piece of a broomstick, and it was cut off, and it had 2 screws stuck in the end of it. It was like painted and had tape wrapped around it to make it look like some kind of cattle prod or something.
Now, is a cattle prod a taser, or is a cattle prod just a thing you beat?
Cattle prod something it's like a long one that you shot cows with to get them to go into the execution tube.
So wasn't that what they beat Goldberg with?
Something like that. But I just this thing looks so fucking cheesy.
So you're saying the Mountie was involved with Kevin Nash?
No,
to
the
take
Mountie
out.
thing was a joke.
I'm very much.
But back to what you were saying earlier about putting the guy over in his hometown.
Yeah.
I do believe Hulk Hogan put the Mountie over in his hometown because it was the right thing to do.
Yeah, put the guy over in his hometown.
Hogan's the big baby face. And that, going back to Goldberg, Hogan had his working shoes on that night, didn't he?
Yeah. That was they gave that one away for free. Fucking one. It could have been one of the biggest pay-per-views that they had.
Now, what were you saying about that? They didn't sell out the Georgia Dome. That was papered or something, or it wasn't really full.
I don't think I said that.
Did it really sell out the Georgia? Because I worked in the Georgia Dome with the WWE, and that place wasn't a fucking third full.
I know it was something fucking. It was a massive crowd.
That place is big.
I can't say with 100% certainty that it was sold out. They were hanging out the rafters. You never seen so many people. Tell them who. I can't say it was to that degree, but there's a lot of motherfuckers in there. I can say that.
And it was Goldberg and Hogan that drew them in.
Goldberg and Hogan drew them in, but it should have been pay-per-view. The company could have made a lot of money off that match, and they did
That
not.
might have still be here. Nah. But what were we talking about before that?
I don't know. Tell me about the primetime players, the crime time players. Oh, you're talking about Ryback. I like what they're doing with him. It's going to take time. I mean,
What is he? Do you know him?
no, not at all.
Is he? I mean, I'm just wondering, is he somebody that can? I mean, they're bringing him along slow, which may be a good thing.
That's definitely a good thing.
I mean, at some point, don't you think they're going to have to stop doing these handicap squash matches?
Yeah,
Let him do something.
I'm interested in what he can do once he's in a give and take situation, which it's really odd. Like those 2 guys who were in there with the other night. Like if Tyler Rex could actually be, he's got a great look, and they haven't never really done a lot with him, but he's there. He's there doing stuff. But so something's missing with him, no doubt. But that's a guy that could too be groomed to do something good.
Tyler Rex or Goldberg?
Tyler Rex.
I mean, Nordberg. What's
Tyler.
his name?
Well, I mean, Ryback
Ryback
is being groomed. That's obvious. But Tyler Rex is something that they. Like I don't know what he's missing because I'm not up there right now. But
He
and
seemed
the other
like
guy used to be a tag team champion. He used to team with Zack Ryder.
Zack Ryder. Wasn't I don't know. Tyler Rex. You're right. He's missing a little bit of fire or something. I don't know what it is.
He's not for a guy that big and that physically imposing. He's not imposing at all. He's not. If you're that big and like nobody's afraid of you, then something's missing. It might be that because he is a nice guy in real life. It might be that he's such a nice guy that's translating out there. But you can't be.
I mean, I don't know. I've never met him before. I don't know him. I'm just me looking at him, seeing him on TV. I would say
This is all just pure speculation.
I just think he needs a little bit more fire or something. I mean, physically, he can go out there and do everything he needs to do. What about the primetime players? I can't decide if I like them or not.
I like to call them the crime time players
because they stole the gimmick.
Very similar gimmick, but I thought they did some good in-ring stuff the other night. They did really well.
Yeah, they're all right. I'm not real crazy about that guy that's their manager. Who is he?
Yeah, I'm still on the fence with him. I like him as a person. He's actually a really funny guy. I don't know if...
Where did he come from?
Florida, I guess. I don't know.
Was he a wrestler? Or?
I don't know his background.
I don't know what his name is, Bill.
Abraham Washington. AW.
Is that who it is?
Mm-hmm. Used to be on the ECW show. The Abraham Washington show.
Yeah, that's him. I didn't realize that. Tony Atlas was pretty funny on that. When he was damn Ed McMahon.
Yeah. Yeah, same guy.
You're holding back on that Tony Atlas thing. Did you not find any humor in that? It looks like they're giving the tag team division a little more attention.
Yeah, they need to. I mean, with 3 hours, there's a lot of guys out there that can use TV time, and they're gonna have to feel that. And man, the tag team division can be such a good thing.
Well, they were kind of burying it for a while. I mean, they would have pay-per-views with no tag team match, and
I mean, the thing is too, didn't they have a tag match later on with 4 other guys?
And the champions aren't there.
The champions aren't there, and these 4 guys are much bigger stars than the tag champions. You're missing the fucking boat. Put the tag team champions on 2 guys that matter. And actually, with Coffee and Truth, they can go in there and work with anybody. and do good stuff. So put them in that situation. Make the titles be a goal for people to go after. But they got so many single titles now, you know, like what the fuck do you do?
See, I've never met Kofi, but I used to work with R-Truth, or Crush as I used to call him, in Memphis. I thought he was great.
Who was?
Crush.
Truth?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, he just, I don't know, there's something about him. He's just got a charisma, or, you know, show business, you know, because he's a rapper. I don't know, just something.
Yeah, no, he's definitely got a lot of talent. Those guys are good together, man, too. And Epico and Primo are awesome.
Yeah, they are good.
They're very talented, so. I mean, there's a division there, and there's the beginnings, and the Usos are great. That was they stole the show at the Raw 1000 when they were out there dancing with Rikishi.
I missed that one. No, that was during my conversion to the Hopper. I got a new cable box, and I didn't realize, okay, none of my shit's programmed in here now. I get up on Tuesday morning to watch Raw, and I'm going,
Got nothing?
got nothing.
Kelly Eve was pretty good. What the fuck is that?
I hate Divas matches.
You still hate the Divas matches?
No, I think Divas matches should be done a certain way, and they don't do them. I mean, they didn't do bad. I mean, I'll give them that. But if I was booking it,
that was definitely the best Divas match of that night.
If I was booking it, I would have all these pretty girls being baby faces. Unless you get one that's real bitchy or something that can pull that off. But I would have like Awesome Kong be the heel.
Yeah.
And come out there and just fucking murder their asses.
Yeah, it's really hard for a guy to boo a hot chick.
Yeah, and it's just.
Like, I mean, if you like Eve, I ain't gonna boo Eve. I don't give a fuck what she's doing.
Yeah.
She could be out there whooping my ass, and I'm not gonna boo her.
But
just not gonna happen. I'm not booing Kelly. I'm not gonna boo half these chicks.
Didn't Taker dating one of them or married to one of them?
Michelle McCool.
Okay. Did he marry her?
Yeah. I was there. Saw it happen.
But that's
they're having a baby, as a matter of fact. That's the rumor. That's in the rumor mill. But anyway, man, shit. What do you think about Chavo? Good little kid. He's good. I think he can make it, man.
I can't believe he remembered meeting me that night. I was telling you earlier, I'm like, I met him one time.
Guerreros have always been a good family, man. They've always been real cool to me.
Yeah, he brought that up. I was like going to remind him. He's like, yeah, backstage, you and Helms is all part. And I was like, there you have it.
We were good. He told me one time, man, he came back from a match and like, this was in WCW. You know, and I had the wild hair and had the fresh braces, so my mouth would get busted all the time, you know. When you got that hair, you know, everybody's yanking, my hair be yanked out, and he's chopping the shit out of me. And I come back there, like I said, my mouth's bleeding, hair's poured out, I got all these whelps all over me.
What, you look like one of the Three Stooges?
He don't have a scratch on him. You know,
what'd you say? I'm begging you to take care of me.
No, fuck, man. I was like, what the fuck is going on? And he goes, yeah, man. He goes, but your chest, man, he goes, your pec, it fits right in my hand, so it just makes me want to chop you more. I was going, the fuck are you talking about? How about leave me alone?
Yeah,
How about I don't bleed?
There's people out there that seem to think a chop is supposed to really hurt.
Oh, man, he could lay him in, too. Fucking Benoit chopped me. Ming had a good one, but I got
Ming's right in the fucking Adam's
I
apple
avoided Ming's chop at all costs. Ming got me good.
Damn.
Flair's is good, but it's okay. I remember, but damn, not Ming got me good. Benoit hit me, and I thought my damn heart came out.
He just throws that shit.
It was like wham! It was like right. It wasn't even on the pec. It was like right in the damn middle, like in my damn sternum. I saw that place. It was like boom! I was like, motherfucker, what is that?
He wants to make sure you bump for him, I guess.
Oh, I did. See, that's the thing. Everybody else would stay up, and if you stay up, you get more chops. See, I bump. I get on the ground. If you gonna chop me, you had to pick my ass back up. Boy, yeah, he lit me up with them damn.
Fucking CW used to do that damn overhanded Ron Garvin chop. I hate that fucking shit. He'd open all his damn fingers up like that, where you get like a separate welt for each finger.
Ain't that an odd thing to say? Your chest fits so good, it just makes me want to chop you. I had Perry Saturn one time. He came in, and Perry, if you follow him on Twitter, it's like at Perry Saturn 1. I think there's a 1 in there somewhere like that. And he'll tell you immediately he was going through a chemical haze most of his WWE tenure. He was in there one time. And it wasn't even a match that he was in. It was a match I was in with somebody else. And he came in and did something. I ended up getting clotheslined. And like I said, I had the braces at the time. So if I bled, I didn't really say a lot about it, because I was just, whatever, trying to fix my shit. And then we get to the back, and I'm over there spitting up blood. Just kind of washing my mouth down. And Perry goes over, hey kid, did I get you? And I go, yeah. You caught me in there.
No, I've got tuberculosis.
You
but
caught
thanks
me in
for
there.
watching.
Yeah, fucking Doc Holliday over here. I'm like, nah, yeah, he caught me in the mouth a little bit. He goes, well, I fucked the spots up, so I had to get my heat back. And I go, what? You fucked the spot up, so you got your heat back by clotheslining my fucking mouth apart? And I was like, okay.
I promise you I'll sell it.
It was all right. I just remember laughing my ass off. He's a good guy.
What did he do that time where he got mad at the dude out there on Jacked or something, some jabroni that he had out there and beat the shit out
I
of him?
think that dude's dead, man.
He killed him?
No, no, Perry didn't kill him. I think that dude ended up by killing himself or something.
Over that?
No, just down the road. If I'm not mistaken.
I don't even remember who it was. I just know he got, like, the officers
If
mad
I'm
at
not
him or something.
mistaken, and you can verify me this, did you ever see Bigger, Faster, Stronger?
Oh, that about the amateur wrestler or whatever?
No, the steroids. Steroids documentary, Bigger, Faster, Stronger.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, there's a very popular. You'd love it. Very informative, you know. The guy that Perry beat up, his brother's the one that did that. If I'm not mistaken, I very well may be. It seemed like it was Bell. Was his last name Bell?
I can't remember. Maybe.
Man,
That
I'm
does sound
gonna
familiar.
Google this shit right real quick just so I don't sound like an asshole.
You're going to have to go to your archives
I can't go to. I'm gonna Google it.
on your
And
phone.
Google is gonna be I'm Googling on my phone because I don't want to fuck it up.
I don't remember what that dude did. He messed something up or
Yeah, Mike Bell.
Mike Bell. That's it.
Mike Bell and his brother. Yeah,
Mike Bell passed away.
yeah, and his brother made the Bigger, Faster, Stronger documentary, which is very good, very informative. Something people should read. You can actually watch it since it's on DVD. But anyway, man, I think we did good here. I'm tired of yapping. I got a baby to feed. And literally, I gotta go
Me
put
too.
food in his mouth.
Oh.
What's going on there? So who we got coming up? What is today?
Wednesday.
Okay, I think the next guest will be former WCW heavyweight champion Diamond Dallas Page. I believe is the next. We also got a former WWE champion coming up, former UFC heavyweight champion coming up, former Ring of Honor champion coming up.
It's all the same person.
No, these are all different peeps. Check the archives. I just did one with Derek Brunson from Strikeforce, who will be fighting Jacare on the next Strikeforce card.
Threw a little savage in there, didn't he?
Yeah. The ones with Rosita was really well received. MVP was well received. The Dawn Marie one, well, I just kind of gave her a platform to tell her side of a little controversial issue. That one's out there. Go to ShaneHelms.com and find all those. Find out how you can watch it, not just on the iPhone anymore, but on Android systems and just on your computer in general. And be that as it is, thanks to everybody for tuning in. Heaven forbid.
Highway to Helms.
Another day, another dollar as I holler to the world. I love the way I'm living, love the Gucci, love the girls, love the parties and the clubs, love the models and hot tubs, love the German engineering set on deep dish dubs. Another tour around the world, entertaining the fans.